Number C. Resolution number 2003-03. She has added a section. Okay, what we're doing is you need to look at whatever. This is the fee schedule, the new fee schedule. You guys didn't have the old one. Photocopies were 10 cents, 8.5 by 11. Photocopies, 8.5 by 14, I believe, were 15 cents. Diskettes were $15. The suggestion has been made $10 to take that down. Audio tapes, I believe, were $2, and we've raised that to $5. Color photocopies, there's $1. Now, these are just suggestions. These are nothing in place, no nothing. This is, as you see, it's a draft.
So how do we discuss it?
Okay, and she has, in number section 3, is pending requests of one of Donna's questions that she wanted to put in this resolution of 2003-03, which you don't have because it was something her and I talked about. It's pending requests would be section 3.
Right.
Okay, the repealer will be now section 4. And the section 3 would read pending requests. Any requests for photocopies, auto tapes, and or diskettes received prior to the passage of this resolution shall be charged the rate as set forth in resolution 200113. So in other words, she will get them everything for,
right,
unless this is not passed, or, you know.
Do we discuss this, or do we have
Yes,
to make
or,
Okay, Donna's got a question.
okay,
You said that tapes were $5 now?
yes.
How
These are just suggestions, there's nothing
Can I
permanent.
finish my question? How the state law, I gave you the state laws that say that you charge for the actual diskette. You have copies of other people who do that, and how can you justify increasing a 50-cent tape to $5?
Because we read the deal and it says.
That,
How much time does it take
this
her?
I had it. Well, and she has to.
I'm sorry, but she can charge her time to this.
How much
And
time
if
does
it
it
take
take?
just a moment. If she charges 15 minutes to tape something, divided by whatever, this is her job. This is if she needs to prove this and write it out. This is what she is saying. Whether it takes you 5 minutes or me 20 minutes to sit down and take a tape and make another tape to make sure it copies right and listen to it to make sure it got everything that the person has asked for, whether it takes you 5 minutes or me 20 minutes. She has worked it where she feels that $5 is not out of line. And I'm answering your question. This is up to these people. And this is only a draft.
These people.
And these people can change whatever they want to change.
The council has to follow Washington state law.
And that's
if
what we
she's
are
going-
doing.
If she's going to increase it like that, then she needs to justify it.
Excuse me.
And she hasn't done that.
Excuse me, there is nothing in the RCWs that has anything to do with electronic media. It's just photocopies.
It's photocopies only.
And then we'll find out.
I'm going to make a motion that we accept this resolution so we can discuss it. 2003-03, amending fee schedules.
I'll second.
Patty has made the motion resolution to accept resolution number 2003-03. Davis seconded. Any discussion?
I have a question.
Yes.
Have you guys made any provisions for information exchange via email?
Not on here.
Let's say I call Terry up and say, Terry, I'd like to have a copy of ordinance XXX, and could you email it to me? If she has it on, or could you email me some municipal code, such and such?
Does Terry, not to muddy the waters, but does Terry have those things on the computer?
I mean, if she can email them to me, I mean, if she can't. email
But I mean, does she have to type,
Obviously,
is she gonna have to type them up, is they're already on the
Obviously, state
computer?
RCW is already on
That's
the
what I'd like you
yeah.
guys to iron out.
Okay, that's a
she
good
has-
question, I don't know.
She emailed me the entire Mesa City Code, which was, she just sent it to me, because the $15 I paid for the diskette wouldn't work, so she emailed it to me. I know that the minutes are on there, they're not signed. And I also wanted to let you know that the Public Disclosure Act is very important to the public. It was passed by initiative, and cities all over, I mean, you can go on to Richland, go type in Richland, Washington, and you can get the minutes of their meetings, you can get all the council packets, you can get just about anything you want through that media, because it is important for the public to get the records. These are public records, and you guys are increasing the costs, which is prohibitive to the public getting public records.
No, I don't think we have.
We haven't passed it yet, Donna.
Well, you haven't passed it, Patty,
We
but
haven't, we
And
have
we're
not
still
passed it,
discussing
and we're
this.
still discussing it.
How much information is available via email?
We have never had that question, so we're still sitting here discussing what is,
That's a good
that-
idea, we could add that to this resolution.
okay, and how do you figure out how to charge, or if they get it free, or you're trying to go through and email it?
And how do you collect it if they're not here and you're emailing to them?
Right.
No.
there is no charge. Richland doesn't send you a bill when you download
Okay,
their
but
minutes.
we're not Richland. And let me explain something, we also got other information that Othello said, I'm sorry, but we don't do this, this, and this, because we have so many people in our town that do it, we don't need to do it at City Hall.
Do that again.
There's,
so many people-
it was like notary fees.
Yeah.
They don't have notary fees, because they don't notarize there at City Hall, because there's,
But that's more of a public service than it is people getting information.
Right.
Talk to Carol, ask Carol what
Okay,
she wants,
Carol.
I wanna talk, I wanna say something.
The city of Richland has a great deal more staff.
yes.
The city of Richland has people dedicated to maintaining a website and making sure that city information is on that website.
Right, and lots of cities have it.
And lots of cities have that.
And there is no way in heck
We can't
that Mesa can keep up with that,
No.
or
Yeah, we
compare
can't
with it.
compare us to
It would be
them.
wonderful, but it's,
And one of the important points of the public disclosure law is that people are allowed to request public information from entities, but they are not allowed to make a nuisance out of themselves and to harm the good of the city by repeated requests that take so much time that public agencies can't do their job. And entities are allowed to charge what it takes in terms of time, electricity, supplies.
Yes.
which is basically what I wanted to say,
It's
is
not
I
just the
want
cost of the
to be,
Right.
I want it, and I don't, it's not because I want it, it's like Donna said, it's the freedom of information, and it's the public open meetings. I want the information to be available, but I don't want to cripple City Hall. There is something in the middle there somewhere.
Yes.
I think that,
And it states in the Public Record Disclosure Act, which states that 15 cents a page for
Right.
photocopies.
the only thing I have an issue with here is colored photocopies. Colored paper isn't that much.
No, these are colored photos, the ink for the.
Color
Mhm.
photos.
Yeah.
Okay, so but you didn't put,
We didn't know how much. I mean, like I said, this is just a draft.
I would like to
People.
suggest that after photocopies, the first two photocopies and then, see, those shouldn't be called photocopies because they're not really photocopies, they're copier copies. You see what I'm saying?
But
Is
Black
that
and
you've
white
got,
copies?
what's a colored
Photo-
photocopy?
Well, they call it photocopies in the,
Do they? Okay, well, that's fine, it's just
I think,
confusing.
it's right here.
So there should be a deep
Photo,
difference.
they call it, to the extent of danger, has not determined the actual per page cost for photocopies of public records. The agent may not charge in excess of 15 cents per page.
I think we need to differentiate between colored photocopies and photocopies on colored paper, which I think is.
I don't think it's, I think it's the same colored paper if we have it,
Oh.
you know. This is for
So you
color
want-
photocopies, yeah.
Okay. Well,
Because we all know the color does take quite a bit. I don't know.
I would like to see, 11 by 17.
Yeah.
We can get that big?
That's legal size.
Okay. No, legal size is
Is
8.5 by,
8.5 by 14.
14.
Okay.
and then 11 by 17 is
Huge.
brochure
Yeah.
size. Do we do very many of those?
Mainly for our maps, isn't it?
It's mainly for our maps.
Okay.
Copies of maps or whatever.
Or if somebody wanted to blow something
On this
up.
notary fee, isn't that dictated by the state?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Okay, and that is
Right,
the
that's-
most up-to-date one?
No, I don't know if it is or not, but that's what I could charge. Well, actually, you can charge per signature.
Right, but I thought it was more than that, that's why I was asking.
It is, well, it depends on what you're notarizing, and you can charge per signature, not
For
per
your
seal.
signature or for their signature?
Their signature.
Right. You
Yeah.
usually just charge per
Per
your
seal.
signature.
If I only have to put one seal on it, that's all I do, and I'll charge for it.
And the law, I think, says up to 4 or whatever it is, but it does, you don't have to, like, I don't charge for my notary. But I'm
Right.
not bound by law to charge, I don't have to,
Right.
but you
For
can't
city.
go over.
Yeah.
This essentially, the fees pay for every 4 years of bonding and the.
Right, I understand that.
Okay.
So
Um,
what about the email? That's too handy.
I've got it on my list here, I would like also under section 3, pending requests to be at the old rate or unless
That's
it's
it,
less.
number, section 3 is.
I know, unless it's less. If the new rate is less than the old rate, then I think it could go to the new rate. Whichever.
Yes.
Whichever is less.
Oh, I see, okay, I understand what you're saying,
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
so if because our old diskettes for 50.
right, everything stays at old price,
Old price
Unless
or new
less.
price unless it's less.
right.
Unless.
So if you want a
whichever is
diskette,
less.
if you decide 10's fine, if you want a diskette, then instead of paying the 15 because of the pending request, you can have it at 10 now instead of the 15. And the photocopies will be 10 cents for Donna instead of 15. That's what you're saying? Okay.
Is that for the copies that she has got in?
Ordered right now.
Now, but
Yeah,
any-
she's got
any
three-
future
well,
orders, they will go to.
Any
the-
future too, if you pass this, yes.
Well,
it'll be-
then, why don't you just take out, diskettes on that section? Well, you don't have that section, but I have, photocopies, audio tapes, and/or diskettes. Just take out diskettes, because that's the only thing that's going down.
Well, audio tapes are going up though, so if she wants an audio tape.
Right, the audio tape and the photocopies will still.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
Terry, you write it so that it makes sense and we're not.
She did, she had it, there's section 3 for you.
I also.
She's saying cross out diskettes down
I
there.
personally, I don't know how the council feels, I still think $10 is a little bit much for diskettes. I know that
Okay, well, that's what we're discussing.
they're just getting filthy cheap. I mean, and what happens if somebody comes in and wants a small file on a diskette and you can't email it to them? $10 seems a little high to me. You know, if you're gonna spend, and that is the problem here, is if you're gonna spend a lot of time filling up, it doesn't take that much anymore with a huge file to fill a diskette with 1.4 megs. I mean, they're almost a dinosaur as it is, without charging $10 for that little bit of information. I'm sorry, that's how I feel. I don't have any problems with
Well,
somebody.
Well,
Then, you
what do
know,
you think is a good?
well, you know, and if it's down, you know, if it's already in the computer and all she has to do is download it. But, you know, what if we don't have it in the computer and she has to take the time to type it all up and then put it on the diskette?
I don't think she should have to do that.
Well, you don't have to?
No, you don't
Okay.
have for 8, so.
All right, well, I'm just asking.
Right, you're right, Dwayne, if that was the case, that would be a whole different ball. We're not talking about
See?
that, we're just talking about putting information from the computer that's onto
$5.
a diskette.
$5?
Yeah, 5 or 6, whichever rate things.
Okay.
What was the old price?
I mean, the audio.
The old price was 15, we put it down to
okay.
10 as the draft,
Okay.
and we're just leaving it up to you guys to changing it.
Cut it in half.
All right,
I think it works.
okay, $5.
I don't have any problems with any of the rest of it.
Did you wanna add something on there about emails? or
Yeah,
something?
that's what we need to decide next.
I don't know what
Anything we add on to here for email is going to not work.
No,
because we don't
at this
have enough
time.
precedent.
Well, first of all, we can't charge for email.
Be impossible.
Right.
You know, so that's a mute as far as this is
This,
concerned.
Right, so-
for coming into City Hall immediately and asking.
The email thing needs to be addressed separately, and
I mean, if it comes down to people that get a lot of stuff up here, come in and find out that we don't
They
have
can
an
do it
email,
for-
they can get that for free instead of a discount for $5,
Yeah.
Right?
but it's
I
still
don't-
taking Terry's time.
I don't know,
That's
I
still-
don't even know if this is a possibility, but maybe not allowing that at all, emailing information over.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, well, we'll have to check into that part. That's something we'll have to look into
You know,
then.
it is, it can be a time cruncher.
Yes,
And like Carolyn said,
I
we've got
think
these huge cities that have beautiful web pages and all
That
these
do it all.
services and the world, you know, technology and the
We just
internet
don't-
is absolutely everything, but I'm not sure we're there yet.
I don't think so either.
Franklin County still isn't up and running.
There are lots of places that
Yeah.
aren't.
So,
I think the email thing should be something that, for a later discussion, if we can look into it, somebody, you know, the girls have time
It becomes a problem, or it
yeah.
becomes a request, not a problem, but a big request, it should be addressed, but I think we're gonna leave it out of this, I'm with that.
Okay.
I call for the question.
Any more discussion?
Questions? and
All in favor
With, if I go-
with
Yeah.
all
With
the
the
changes?
That needs a motion with the changes.
Yeah, I make a motion that, with the changes.
Second?
Patty made the motion, David seconded it, on adding the different changes to this draft. Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any other